Hey sweet people, and welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome especially. I'm Sally and I'm so glad you've stopped by. This week I'm sharing some easy, quick pro-metabolic meals for when you just don't have a ton of time or you need to throw something together with really simple ingredients. So I am making an easy bowl to kick things off. As you saw, I just boiled some eggs, but these are a great thing to just have on hand. I don't love to just chomp on a hard-boiled egg, but I think they're really good to slice up and put in salads or bowls or just other meals. So now I'm chopping up some cucumber. You can use for this whatever vegetables you have on hand. I have cucumber and yellow bell pepper. I love to keep both cucumbers and bell peppers on hand, especially in the summer months when they are in season, because they're really easy to digest, and bell pepper in particular is really high in vitamin C, and I just think they're delicious. So delicious, easy, and easy to digest in their raw form, not to mention super hydrating. So divided that between a bowl for myself and my husband. And now I have some roasted sweet potatoes that we are tossing in. These are I can't remember what they're called, but purple skin white sweet potatoes. Very yummy. Texture is slightly different from a normal sweet potato, but again, I roasted them this day, but you could roast them at the beginning of the week. Just keep them on hand or use whatever, we'll say starchy or carb you have available. So you could do rice, you could do regular potatoes, and then we are slicing up a boiled egg, which is going on top. And in a minute here, I'm going to be cracking open some sardines. So little fish like this, if they're wild caught, well sourced, are a great thing to have on hand. They are surprisingly delicious and easy to use and nutrient dense. So you're getting lots of iodine, omega-3 fatty acids, and other really important and harder to get, we'll say, nutrients. And you're getting pretty good bang for your buck because a little container of 10 fish doesn't cost that much money. I want to say this was about 18 grams of protein for the fish. It may have been even more than that. And I think I had 2 eggs, so that was another 12 grams of protein. Got me up to about 30 in that bowl. Okay, next meal, I am having some Kodiak cakes. Now, I'm not saying these are optimal ingredients, optimal sourcing, but honestly, I think they're pretty good and they can be helpful to have on hand for a quick protein-packed breakfast. And you'll see here a trick to make them sourdough if you have trouble digesting grains or just want to, prep it the night beforehand. But I'm adding a half cup of mix to my bowl, and then I'm adding some milk. I really didn't follow the instructions exactly because I wanted to add a whole egg to my serving. So I did a half cup of mix, a little less than a half cup of milk, an egg, and then here I'm adding in some of my sourdough starter. So just a tablespoon or 2. And if you do this and mix it all up the night before and just pop it in your fridge, this will ferment the flour a little bit, which again makes it easier to digest. So you can do that, but full disclosure, I will often make these just in the morning, and it had over 21 grams of protein for the 3 pancakes that I made, given the full egg that I put in it and the milk. But yeah, really great to have on hand. And it's a good way to mix things up, because I know sometimes we get sick of eating protein in more conventional ways. So you can do this, and then of course throw a couple eggs on the side if you want. Had this for lunch this day, it doesn't need to be breakfast, and added some maple syrup. I thought that looked really pretty sitting there and definitely enjoyed it. Next up are these grass-fed beef patties from Costco. Not every Costco has them, but check to see if yours does, because it is a major life hack. I think it comes out to about $5.19 per pound for 100% grass-fed ground beef, which is cheaper than I found it anywhere else. It is higher fat compared to a lot of ground beef, but even considering what cooks out of it, you're still saving money. So I like to just keep these on hand, and I will thaw a few, keep them available in my fridge, and they cook up in just a few minutes. I literally just put salt on either side, throw them onto, a skillet or a grill pan as I have here, flip them over, and just serve it with whatever you have on hand. It could be fruit, or it could be some bread and some vegetable of some kind. As you'll see here in a second, I had some leftover green beans. So I had them with some leftover green beans, a little bit of cheese on top, and then some homemade bread and butter. And it was a delicious meal that came together in probably 10 minutes. Next up, and lastly for this video, are some sausages. These are just some Polish sausages that I picked up from my local co-op. They have a massive selection, and they again cook up in just a few minutes, and it's a hearty, nourishing meal. Just did sausage and fruit. So threw one of these into my skillet and got it nice and crispy. A little hack too is if you want it to cook faster and to get it a little bit more crispy, you can slice it down the middle and then slice it in half so it's in 4 pieces, but first cut lengthwise, and it gets a little bit extra crispy and it cooks up a little bit faster. So that's also really yummy. And I had some pears, which again, you'll see in just a second. Pears are in season, and I'm really trying to do a good job of focusing on seasonal fruits. It pays off because they are so delicious, like so much better when they're in season. But this is a nice Bosc pear that I just sliced up and ultimately served with my sausages. So that's it, y'all. Quick and easy. These are whole food based meals that come together in just a few minutes. The key really is having certain staples that you keep on hand. So just when you think about it, cook some sweet potatoes, cook some regular potatoes, cook some rice, like soak and cook some rice, boil some eggs. Those things usually keep for a while in the fridge, and it pays off to be able to toss them together with some faster cooking proteins. And I guess I would just say about this sausage, it is a little bit higher fat to protein, so I would probably pair this with a pretty high protein dinner and a pretty high protein breakfast, or whatever meals I haven't already had, just to make sure my macros stay balanced. But that's it, and I'll see you next time.